Peter Foldy is works out in LA. I'm obviously here in Detroit, but Peter Foldy works out in LA and do Skype sessions. And when I first started working with him, it was the first lesson. We just did it online. And I have a tendency, like I said, I try to overwork. I try to show, when the boxing trainers used to tell us, I would try to show them things, or I would try to tell them how good I was doing. They would always say, don't tell us, show us. So I took that and I applied that to the mentorship with Peter. And what I did was I would constantly write letters to him and everybody else basically in the program. But I would bombard almost his mailbox. Not that that's the best idea, but I would bombard his mailbox because I was so energetic and so excited about this opportunity and working with him. And every time a feedback would come back, it would excite me even more because it was awesome feedback. It made me really understand and think, like, wow, this guy knows what he's doing. This guy, has different opinions about my stuff and might not like it or might not see exactly what I see with it, but he can take it and he can formulate it or help me formulate it and make it into something extremely good. So we got on Skype the second week or the second lesson in the second week once we started, and from then it was an unbelievable working relationship because we normally he Skypes I think with people or meets with people once a week and then does the homework with them at the end of the week. But me and Peter almost every day are on Skype talking constantly back and forth, and we probably talk twice a day because we bounce the ideas off each other. And one thing I found fascinating was in the beginning is that like I said, I was a conventional writer, so I'd always have these huge ideas, and I sent him, every time I would talk to him, I would send him different ideas even though we were working on one script, and I would say, today I just got this idea, just today I get this idea. And the second week he sent me back something and called me during the night, and it was a great feeling because it was reciprocation, because he told me, even though he's a good producer and all these things, he said, hey, I woke up and just from talking to you I had this great idea, and and it really got the ball rolling for him, and it really kind of lit a fire under his ass type of thing, just like he did for me. And it was unbelievable to see that reciprocation, that even somebody as accomplished as that could hear my opinions and my story and everything, the accomplishments that I was achieving so far, and be inspired by that. So once that inspiration and connection was made, we've had constantly and every day we're always talking to each other, we're always throwing back notes. And I started off with a screenplay that was big in scope and big in size, and what I wanted to do is I had a great idea that what if we could, what if there was a screenplay about a man who actually discovered ghosts and showed the world how you can see them and how you can actually prove that they're real. And it was a great concept and it was a great idea, and I bounced it back and forth with Peter, throughout the first couple of weeks. I sent him almost 60 pages of it, and he liked it, but he said, he gave me the idea. He said, well, why don't you work on the smaller script, and let's hear more about your story, because I have an interesting story. I was shot when I was younger, when I was 21 years old. I was doing a music contest in Detroit, and I was coming back from that, and when we were coming back, we got shot on 7 Mile. And that changed my life forever. That was right before the kidney dialysis and all that. But that changed my life forever because that kind of sent me into a different direction of thinking. It sent me into life is as fragile as an eggshell, and you really, it can crack at any time, so you really got to get moving. And then the kidney dialysis kicked that in. But anyway, back to the mentor. When I was working with Peter, I told him that story, and as he got to know me better, he said, you really got to do something with that story. You really should put that in, because the point of writing is it's always got to have you in it somehow. You always have to convey a message. It can't just be, well, I want to write a good script. You have to have something, and you have to say something. You have to have a message to get through. So I started writing a movie that we are both kind of working on right now, and I bounce these, and it's a small budget, low budget movie, but we're bouncing the ideas back, and it just is such a better movie because of it touches deep inside. And I can draw upon personal experiences, but at the same time create characters off of those experiences. So now that we're working together with that, it just the relationship gets tighter every day. I find it more than easy to work with them because I walked in with the idea you got to listen to him no matter what he says, even if you don't like it. And that got me through the first couple of weeks of turbulent water. Only turbulent because I had a perception of how scripts should be, and they were not, what he perceived, or not perceived, but what he knows to be from being a professional. And so once that got cleared up, and once I kind of got onto that boat of, okay, listen to the trainer, do what he says, now we have an incredible relationship. So I'm just really glad to have somebody that was so quickly able to adapt to the way I worked, and I was so quickly adapting to the way he worked.